Fortnite Battle Royale recently introduced a brand new weapon to the game called the Heavy Shotgun. I'll be doing a thorough review of this weapon in this video, including its base damage, its headshot damage, ranges for the weapon, and environmental damage. By the end of this, you should be fully knowledgeable on when to use the Heavy Shotgun and when not to. So first of all, let's talk about the rarity of this majestic beast. There's two types of this shotgun, a purple epic and a gold legendary. Now, unlike the pump and tactical shotguns, which you can find as floor loot, the Heavy Shotgun can only be found in chests or supply drops. Even then, the rarity is absolutely absurd. According to my Fortnite stats tracker, in 136 matches I played last week, I received a Heavy Shotgun from inside a chest 3 times. That's it. 3 times out of 136 matches. I usually average about 7 to 10 chests searched a game, so that tells you how rare it is getting this out of an actual treasure chest. More often than not, the only way you're going to stumble upon this gun is by picking it up off of someone you just killed. Even then, the chances are only the good players have them since they can rack up the kills. So you'll likely end up getting this mid to late game, if at all. So with all those obstacles in the way, I'd be willing to bet that not many people have got to test drive this weapon very much. Now before we talk about the damage, let's cover the sound of the weapon first. The Heavy Shotgun has a distinct weapon sound, which is actually pretty loud. If any of you guys played Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, it sounds very similar to the Banshee shotgun in that game. It's almost like the grenade launcher sound mixed with the pump shotgun. So if you're a treasure hunter, this is great news as it's very distinct when someone shoots it nearby. Listen here as I'll play this clip at normal volume so you can hear it. And for the purposes of this video, whenever I heard that noise, I ran straight towards it so I could get some footage, even if that meant going backwards into the storm. Now let's talk about the damage. The purple epic variant of the Heavy Shotgun deals 73.5 base damage to the body, which is a very strange number. For comparison, the epic tactical shotgun deals 74 damage. In fact, everything about the epic tactical shotgun is superior to the Heavy Shotgun, except for its range. The epic Heavy Shotgun fires slower, has 1 less shell, and it reloads slower. Now, a lot of people have been wondering how much damage a headshot will do with this. And for the purple epic one, it has a 2.5 times multiplier. So that means it can deal up to 183 damage, as you can see here. So essentially, the purple tactical shotgun reigns supreme over the purple Heavy Shotgun, unless the range factor is incredibly noticeable, which I'll be covering in just a second. For now, let's take a look at the legendary Heavy Shotgun. This one does 77 base damage to the body, and it also reloads just a bit faster at 5.6 instead of 5.9. Now the headshot damage for this golden beauty is also 2.5 times, which means that it can deal up to 192 damage. Now before everyone screams overpowered here, just remember that the gray common pump shotgun does a whopping 225 damage with a headshot. As you'll soon see when I talk about the range, you won't be getting the 192 headshot damage from any outrageous ranges. Next up is environmental damage. I was able to do some testing with the purple Heavy Shotgun on one of these trees here. At point blank range, it'll do 100 damage. Now obviously, as you go further away from the object, the damage will start to decrease. But you can see here the range the Heavy Shotgun possesses. Even at this incredibly long distance, it was still doing about 35 damage a shot. The problem is, the fire rate is pretty terrible. You'd be better off using a fully automatic weapon to take down structures, but it's still nice to see some of the range this gun can offer. So now let's talk about the range on this weapon. I've seen so many people already complain that this Heavy Shotgun is incredibly overpowered, but in actuality, this is just people getting killed by something new and then immediately complaining. If you remember, people thought the crossbow and the minigun were both overpowered when they came out. And just look how terrible those two weapons turned out to be. I want to mention here that I went out of my way to get as many range clips of the Heavy Shotgun that I could, so I highly recommend not attempting some of these ranges you'll be seeing here. Several times my testing actually cost me the match, but I think it was well worth it to get a good sample size. So just be warned that I would never go for some of these shots if I were playing to win. I just wanted to test the limits and find out exact ranges. For example, watch here as this guy runs across an open field without building. I could have easily killed him with my Scar, but for testing purposes, I swapped to the Heavy Shotgun. So this clip shows that it doesn't have an unlimited range like some people have stated. With some of the comments out there, you'd think this weapon could one-shot someone from halfway across the map, which it clearly can't. Now if you watch here, this is approximately the max distance you'll get out of the heavy shotgun. But even at this range, it does minuscule damage. It is possible to hit them though, but you'd be better off using an assault rifle or an SMG at this point. Now as I mentioned earlier, the gold legendary heavy shotgun does 77 base damage. But just how far does this extend out to? In this clip, I engage an enemy that's directly in front of me. My first shot connects, but it only does 64 damage, which means I either didn't hit the enemy in the body despite it looking like it, or he was just beyond my base range. As the battle continues, the final blow I deliver to him does 76 damage, which is just 1 point shy of our base. So this is essentially the range you can land a body shot and get max damage. As you can see, it's pretty decent, but nowhere near as overpowered as some people suggest. Just as a comparison, here's the green pump shotgun at roughly the same distance. The perspective may look a bit off due to me having the high ground, but it's more or less the same distance. And this does 64 damage. So a green variant can almost do as much damage as a gold one. Now the biggest issue with this gun is knowing when exactly to use it. We know it has the best range out of all the shotguns, but at that point, why would you not just use an SMG or an assault rifle? Sure, you can hit people from great distance, but when it does less than 30 damage, you're really just ruining a great opportunity to kill your enemy and not just love tap them. For example, here I see a newbie booby cowering behind some rocks in front of me. I have a gold scar and a gold heavy shotgun. I could have easily killed this guy with my scar effortlessly, but I wanted the gold shotgun clip. As you can see, I hit him from quite the distance, but for 16 and then 13 damage. With a scar there, he would have been dead. He then runs away and I have to outmaneuver him. And again, the shotgun does horrible damage at a decent range. 37, then 36, and then a headshot for 17. He eventually jumps down and then I hit him for 38 and I finish him off for 42. So it took me 5 shots with the gold heavy shotgun to finish him. And again, 3 quick scar shots would have easily killed him here at any point during this fight. Now in this clip, I encounter a stationary guy. I have a gold RPG and a purple scar, either of which could have finished this guy off. Instead, I test the range of the purple heavy shotgun. I get a shot for 24 damage and then for 11 before he bunkers up. So one last example here. I have a blue assault rifle, a gold launcher, and the gold shotgun. There's only 3 people left and I grab the high ground on this unsuspecting enemy. I could have easily killed him here, but I wanted more footage. So I shot a grenade in to scare him down first. As he scampers below me, I biff a few shots and then I hit him 3 times, but never doing over 70 damage with any of them. Now if we pause it here to assess the situation, all his shield is depleted at this point and I have the advantage over him due to positioning. I could have easily unloaded some grenades and finished him off, but this is what I expect a lot of people would do here. You know you have the supposed super long range shotgun, so why not use it? Unfortunately, he eventually shoots down my ramp and finishes me off. I would have never played this way if I weren't testing for ranges, but this just goes to show you that in most medium to long range engagements, the heavy shotgun should never be used. Now as for close quarters combat, it's just average at best unless you land a headshot. Several times I encountered people at extremely close ranges and received less than the base damage. And due to its slower fire rate than a tactical shotgun and almost equal damage, you're almost always going to be better off using one of those or even the pump in close quarters. So the final question I want to answer, is the heavy shotgun as overpowered as some people are claiming? And the answer is no, but let me back up my claim with some simple reasoning. First, it's extremely rare, as I already demonstrated. Second, it has a max body damage of 73.5 or 77, depending on which one you have. The tactical shotguns can do more damage at a faster rate up close due to them being able to fire faster. Next, the heavy shotgun has smaller crosshairs than other shotguns, which makes up-close headshots even more difficult. And lastly, the pump shotgun or even some of the tactical shotguns can put out just as much damage, if not more, at certain medium distances. But don't get me wrong here, it's great for what it's designed to do, and that's a shotgun that's a mix between the pump and the tactical. The biggest issue is, you'd have a better chance using your assault rifle or your SMG at the ranges it's supposed to excel at, which is medium to long range. The one redeeming factor is that it can essentially free up a slot in your loadout. A lot of people run a pump shotgun for close quarters, and then a tactical one or an SMG for a follow-up shot or medium ranges. Since the heavy shotgun is essentially a hybrid, it can do both things for you and thus free up a slot if you don't want to carry one of each. And that, as they say, is that. The new heavy shotgun in Fortnite Battle Royale is essentially a cross between the pump and the tactical one. It has average close quarters damage, superior medium range, and a lackluster long range. It does shoot faster than the pump shotgun, but not as fast as the tactical ones. If you can find that sweet spot though, which is medium ranges, you can reign supreme on your enemies. If you find yourself in close or long range combat, however, you're almost always better off using something else for that situation. Due to the rarity of these two variants, this weapon is by no means overpowered, unless you're cheating the system and running two at once. But I'm willing to bet this will be nerfed soon, just like the double pump method. So the next time someone tries to tell you that the heavy shotgun is extremely overpowered, just redirect them to this video and hopefully it'll change their mind.